Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of MLS Monday by Scarves and Spikes. Tyler, Sydney, and Henry here with you guys as we are prepped to move on to the MLS playoff semi-conferences.
Guys, Inter Miami just scored again. Did you guys hear
Shut
that?
up.
No way.
Was it Messi?
No, we won't. I don't want to do too much messing around with Nashville. They're good people.
I get it, messing.
Yeah.
How planned was that?
Yeah, not very, but hey. we made it work. We make it work.
This intro reminded me of like the Simpsons, like, stop, he's already dead.
Yeah.
He's already dead. Please stop.
Yeah.
No, we have a good show. We had some good games over the weekend to kind of wrap up the first actual round of the playoffs. And we have a handful of teams going forward after the international break. We'll get to that in a little bit. But we're going to have Justin Blair hopping on in a little bit from Cincy Soccer Talks to chat with us, hang out with us for a little bit, and just talk about Cincinnati and then officially putting an end to Darlington Nagbe's illustrious career. Not taking away anything from Darlington at all. And Miles randomly running down the inline with a sword. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Pretty badass.
I missed that part.
It was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
My teachers always told me don't run with scissors, but I guess you can run around with swords. I guess that's just fine.
On a
Yeah,
soccer
no, so don't
pitch.
run with swords.
And that was like a blade. That was not.
That's legit.
It looked
Legit
pretty
sword.
weird. It looked like Excalibur.
I have to roll that back. I didn't catch that part.
Mark, yes, you got to go check that video out. We are absolutely not as much on this episode, but 100% tomorrow there's going to be content, and then Wednesday on the main Atlanta show we're going to be talking NWSL to the great city of Atlanta.
Yeah, exciting times.
Super exciting times. I'm so pumped up about this. There's been about 150 names that I've seen pop up already for the potential team that it could be, but it's just a fun time.
We'll find that out. Yeah. Let me ask you guys real quick. How do you feel about the three as you open the drink? What are you drinking tonight, Kelly?
He like leaned that into the mic too.
You made sure we heard that. What are you drinking? I just want to ask a quick question before we
it's called the Beast of Both Worlds by Lagunitas.
Beast of Both Worlds. Okay. Okay. Well, while you pour that in your glass, just quick pulse check here. 3-game series, yay or nay? I think you guys know my position on it. I don't mind it, but just stop with having the 3-game series before the international break, having people wait for 2 weeks for the next round. So that's my take. What are yours? Like quick 10, 15 seconds pro or cons. Pros or cons, I should say. Henry.
Yeah, I'm with you as far as the Yeah, I'm with you as far as the timing. Definitely, I would like it for it to be, playoffs continuous, no stop for international break or anything. But I do like the drama that the 3-game series affords, and we saw that in full flow this weekend.
Yeah, I think anything prior to the conference finals should be at minimum 2 games. So, I like the 3-game series. I'm with y'all. I hate that it gets broken up no matter what, before or during or after, in some way, shape, or form because of the international break. But yeah, give me at least 2 games, even if it's the old school home and away format or this one. I don't care. I like it.
Yeah, I see Mark saying in the chat, love 2 and 3. And he's saying it needs to be Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. So I don't know. It seems like it's a discussion about playoffs every year, and I don't know. Maybe we see changes in 2026, guys, or beyond. But just thought we would start the show with that, just to kind of get a pulse check on what you guys think, because it was a pretty impressive group of games that we saw in this past weekend, right?
It really was, and I guess we can go back. We've kind of touched on the ones that had already ended, because we did have a couple that they didn't make it to game 3. But I guess going back to Friday, I guess we can kick off with that one, because I see Isaac in the chat saying, can we all laugh at Charlotte and Nashville? Yeah. Well, speaking of Charlotte, New York City taking them completely out of it in 3 counterattacking, super quick goals. He's trying, Tommy. Henry's trying to grow facial hair.
I'm doing my best here.
He's getting there. He's trying to earn that bet.
It's the playoff beard, if you will.
Yeah.
For who?
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the refs, maybe.
Yeah, for real. I can't wait to talk about that one.
Yeah.
But no, New York takes out Charlotte. In pretty, I would say, easy fashion. I mean, look, there were moments, but New York City, they had a game plan. They stuck to it. They hit on some counterattacks, and they made Charlotte pay.
I'm actually surprised New York City won that match. I thought Charlotte would win. I think I'm pretty confident I picked New York City to win that series in my bracket, but I'm a little surprised. I really fancied Charlotte's chances. I don't know about you guys. That one getting to match 3 at Bank of America Stadium. But that being said, Charlotte have never won a playoff series, have never won a playoff match in regulation. At the same time, you're at home. You're coming off game 2 where Kalina does well to keep NYCFC at bay during the penalty shootout. But overall, you look at their attack, just didn't do anything throughout the entire series. And I feel like that's going to be a main talking point for Charlotte in the offseason. How to build up those attacking reinforcements. You're, of course, missing Pep Biel due to his injury, but you did have Zaha, who obviously was suspended for match 1, and then just really a non-factor, guys, in this series. So in that regard, I'm surprised that Charlotte, didn't win the series. So, what do you think?
Well, then again, I think what you mentioned is a big factor. Pep Biel's absence. I mean, he was that team's best chance creator throughout the regular season. I'm pulling up the numbers here, but he had 10 goals, 12 assists in MLS this season in 26 games played. That is really good. A really good production rate for a midfielder who I think right now is technically, he's not a DP, so
he's on loan.
Yeah,
for the end of the
so
season.
it's good. Like, that is as really good. And honestly, like, throughout the season, you would see him pop up in these pockets of space, turn around, and basically release these really good long balls into space. And that is how Charlotte would hit hardest on attacks, is just finding your Edon Toklamatis. When Patrick Agyemang was there, Patrick Agyemang in behind these lines, Wilfried Zaha. And that is where a lot of Charlotte's most dangerous chances came from. So in a sense, I'm not really surprised that their offensive output was that negatively affected in this series, because when you're missing a guy like that, it seriously puts a damper on you, man.
Yeah,
it really does.
I think because of that, you had to see Mr. Smith adjust things throughout the season.
Yeah.
But I don't know that. I mean, take nothing away from Charlotte. They started off hitting this season incredibly hard, and then they had a lull. Right? Remember, we talked about it a lot on here. They dropped, down to the playoff line. I think they were at one point they were actually out of the playoff line,
close to it.
Yeah, and then they shot back up, and they got themselves in. And I mean, here's the thing about New York City: they're another team that's kind of got hot at the right time.
Oh yeah,
and they do have that home field advantage. The home field advantage, which, not that they had home field advantage, but I mean that you still have to play there no matter what. And that was the one that didn't really go over well for them, which is so funny to me.
Yeah.
But I think out of the 3-game series, 100% the best team won. The team that showed out, for sure, was New York City over Charlotte. Charlotte just couldn't get anything going in this entire 3-game series.
Yeah. I want to kind of hit on Charlotte real quick. And by the way, it's going to be Philly, New York City FC, and we'll touch on the matchups a little bit later. But I wonder if Charlotte really ever found a good replacement for Agyemang after he sold him to Derby County. Of course, we talked about Pep Biel being injured. We talked about Zaha. We didn't really touch on Leo Abada too much. But did they really replace him outright? And, if you're Charlotte, you have that DP slot open, right? Well, actually, no, you don't. You have Abada and Zaha as your 2 DPs, and then you have for U22. So you wonder if Charlotte could be looking to maybe offload the U22 or open one of the spots up if you're going to go with the 2 and 4 sort of setup, right? Or just kind of continue the path they're on and just go with the 2 and 4 2 DPs for U22s and maybe find a true number 9. That's to take nothing away from BL, right? But yeah, find a true number 9 to that can really change matches, that can really turn things in your favor, because I think absolutely Charlotte was missing that in the form of what Alonso Martinez was able to do. They need somebody like that. I don't think Charlotte has anyone like that at this point. It could have changed the series if they did.
Yeah, I'd throw Idan Toklamati out there.
Yeah, Toklamati, definitely.
He was the one that stepped in after Ajiman left, and before that, he was kind of that depth piece behind him. But dude started starting games, and he just started bagging goals, man. And I believe his for the season he had 11 goals, 4 assists in 19 starts, 30 appearances. Yeah, those are decent numbers. Obviously, you probably want better if you are a team that is, looking to be among the best in a very tough Eastern Conference. If you have a DP slot, if you can make one available, which I think they can, you probably go and get yourself a DP number 9 this offseason. And I think that instantly raises Charlotte's level going into 2026.
Yeah, I think that's been the most glaringly obvious aspect of this Charlotte team is, and it was kind of twofold, because you had Ajiman early in the season, and I said on this show, and I stand by what I said, that Ajiman was overrated. But he was getting involved, right? I just think he was overrated, to be fair. But hey, they moved on from him and they made a pretty penny from him. And from a business perspective, you can't ask much more than that. And for his career, now he's gotten over there, he's kind of stalled out a little bit, but that's a different story. But so you had a guy that was kind of doing it. And then you have another guy that comes in who's kind of up and down, but he was banging in some goals at some point. So I think it's pretty obvious from a front office perspective what you really need to go look for in this offseason, barring, any of the other roster moves that you have to take care of, which we're going to talk about probably next week during the international break. But as it stands right now, Charlotte just needs, if they can find that dude up top that fits with the rest of the system that's there, then they've got it made going into next season. I think they really do have a recipe for success. So what felt like maybe just a step off this series in the playoffs, I think could really be turned around if they make just a couple of tweaks here in the upcoming offseason.
Absolutely. Team to watch certainly the offseason, like you said, Charlie, to see what they can do. But on the other side, like Henry was saying, they got hot. NYCSC got hot. Of course, they have Martinez, they have Fernandez, a player that's really affected their attack ever since he got there. I feel like their stronger in form, NYC's stronger in form, has coincided to when NYC signed him. So certainly hats off to the recruitment team, hats off to the front office, hats off to Pascal Janssen for helping hold that team together, even as it kind of hit a patch of, this is a decent team but not a great team. Now they're a really good team who are on a really good run of form. And again, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I really think they could give Philadelphia a fight out there in Subaru Park. Subaru Park is what I'm trying to say.
100%. 100%. So we're gonna do this a little mixed up tonight, because we're about to get Justin Blair in here from Cincy Soccer Talks to talk about Cincy. We're also going to talk about the upcoming Cincy match. So we'll talk a little bit about what happened on Saturday night and a little bit about what's coming up here in a couple of weeks for Cincinnati. And then we will jump back to the craziness with Seattle and some other matches. So we're going to be a little bit all over the place, but that's okay, because Justin is here with us for the next 15 or 20 minutes to chat.
What's up, Justin?
Cincinnati. Justin, what's going on,
guys?
Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Getting past the crew is a monumental achievement for FC Cincinnati.
the weight off your shoulders, right? And not just your shoulders, but FC Cincinnati fans' shoulders collectively, isn't it?
It is. It is. It doesn't make up for 2023 when we lost the Eastern Conference Final holding a shield, and we watched the Crew go on to win the final. But it does give us a little bit. We were the favorites going into it. We saw the Columbus, decision day coming down to the wire. Is it going to be the Fire? Is it going to be the Crew? I think we were all pretty bummed out that it was going to be the Crew, because we know those games can get a little out of hand. But in retrospect, I love it. Going into this, I think FC Cincinnati fans were looking at a situation where maybe the players, it's a long season. Maybe the players kind of turned off a little bit toward the end, down the stretch, and having the Columbus Crew as your first round opponent and getting 3 matches out of it, right? Getting smacked in the face by the Crew and then coming back and having that response. I think it's rejuvenated the fans and the players.
So I got to ask first, my first question, what's in the cup?
Sure. Little sippy. I like the weirdest concoction ever. It's a highball, but it's not your traditional highball. Tommy one time actually saw me drinking it live up in Cincinnati. It is a little bit of Johnny Walker and a little bit of tonic, and that's it. That's all you need. If you like
really straightforward,
if you like a cidery taste, a refreshing drink, it's perfect.
And I see
very
it's
nice.
We've seen that boot before from Tommy as well.
That's good.
That's awesome.
It makes you nervous though, putting this down, because it legitimately has the spikes. So it's on a
be careful touching that thing.
Did not realize that thing was that unstable looking. Actually, that's pretty intense. All right, so I guess take us through kind of the way that you saw this entire 3-game series plan out, because like the first game, right, it was it was not a bad game. It was just low scoring. And then game 2 got out of control. and then you guys come back to TQL, and it's, it was a good match, and the better team won on the day for sure. But I guess it was an emotional roller coaster, I would imagine, for Cincy fans, right?
Yeah, it absolutely was. The game 1 was kind of the FC Cincinnati that we know and love. It is, I think FC Cincinnati in 1-goal matches, I think they have, I don't even know what the stat is, but they've yelled it out on each broadcast. It is an outrageous winning percentage on 1-goal games. And unfortunately, that's become our MO. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 all season long. And I think the cardiologists in the Cincinnati area are making their money this year with FC Cincinnati, because that game was everything that we kind of expected it to be. We were better than the Crew. We've been better than the Crew this year. But it felt like one of those games that could go here or there, or, is this something that's going to go to penalties? Oh no, Roman Celentano may not be the best goalkeeper in those situations, but we were happy to squeeze that out. Then we come in facing the Crew. I personally felt like it was a loss going into the match, because playing up there at lower.com field for us is a very challenging task, right? That place is there's a different energy when there's a rivalry game, right? I'm going to call it rivalry because I'm an American. It just brings that extra oomph, right? When the Falcons are playing the Saints, or the Panthers or something, like it just has a little bit extra oomph into those matchups. And for us, it felt like, we could win the game. We are better. We have a better attacking trio. But the Crew could find a way to make the game dirty and win it. I didn't expect us to get blown out. And thank you, Kubo, for the the red card getting sent off, leaving us man down in the 35th minute, I believe, in that match. So that game just went sideways real quick. And like I said at the top of the show, I think it was a blessing in disguise. It sucks when you lose to a rival like that, but you still get that extra game, right? You get the 3rd game. It's back at TQL. It's time to put up or shut up. And fortunately for us, Brenner is back on this team and bagged another brace. That's his 8th goal of the season. And he's only played in, I believe, 10 matches. I think he's up to 10 matches now. So Brenner, right where he left off before he went to Udinese over in the Serie A. So we're ecstatic, and now we get to face some team. I don't even remember who it is. Is it Miami FC?
So I hear.
Miami.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, I'm looking at the ticket prices right now. The get-in price for our supporter section is $244. So
Oh wow.
Good luck
Really,
for
man?
any of the casual fans wanting to get. Yeah,
Damn.
Messi hasn't. It's funny. Messi joined the league in 2023. He played the Leagues Cup the Leagues Cup tournament, and he went on that run, and we all remember that. His first game of MLS play, or no, I'm sorry, the U.S. Open Cup was right after that, the semifinal where he beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati on penalty kicks, but he hasn't beaten us in a 90-minute regulation match. And he really hasn't even played us. All of 2024, he missed every single match. And, you got the Cincinnati Enquirer, so our, local newspaper, posted an article about how you get a chance to see Messi, not FC Cincinnati is in town.
It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating, especially from this fan base. You guys know, I mean, Atlanta United's one of the greatest fan bases in MLS, but FC Cincinnati's got to be up there, right? They've had their lumps, and they're here, and they're not going anywhere. And for us to have our own local newspaper sell us out for Messi is a bit of a sting.
So, kind of taking a step back from this upcoming semifinal against Miami, and kind of going back to this 3-game series, you talked earlier about the attacking group that Cincinnati has, and it's definitely one of the strongest in the league, certainly this season. But I think over the course of this 3-game series, we kind of expected more of an impact from players like Evander and from Denke. And of course, Denke gets, the game-winning goal in game 1, but maybe you're probably hoping for him to get something in game 2, game 3, Evander to just appear, because he didn't have much of a hand in those 3 games. What is kind of your assessment on the performance of them, those two, particularly the 2 DPs?
Yeah, especially it's difficult to say, because again, this is year 1 for both of those players. So this is the first time we've seen him in the limelight, right? Of course, Vander had his moments in Portland, but Denke, this is his first time in the league coming from Club Brugge. So for us, if this season's kind of been it's not been like your prototypical, like Lucho Acosta takes over and he is the defining feature of this team, right? FC Cincinnati has been one of the lower scoring teams in the league this year, which was surprising coming into it. But Evander has had an amazing year. Denke started off extremely hot. He was in the Golden Boot race. But as of late, it's just kind of been difficult to see the 3 try to get on the same page. Right, Denke no longer is making those runs that he was making at the beginning of the year. He's kind of unsure of himself. Okay, is Evander going to take one from here, or is Evander going to lay it off to Brenner? Is Brenner occupying the same zone as me in the box? Because they kind of flip in times, just trying to get the advantage. But Evander was surprising. I was surprised that he didn't have a goal. He did get an assist off of a Brenner goal. That came off of a corner kick, but you would want to see your stars shine brightest in these moments, and I felt like we kind of got that out of Brenner. Brenner is no joke and has been, the darling of FC Cincinnati for years now. He holds the record for goals scored for FC Cincinnati in a single season. He brought this team from a wooden spoon winner, all the way up to a team that was competing for the Supporters Shield before he made his exit. So I think seeing a more mature player, a player that's kind of been there, done that kind of thing, it was great to see him kind of carry it whenever maybe Evander and Dinke are still trying to get their feet in these kind of high pressure moments.
So we kind of talked about the fan bases, and FC Cincinnati has probably as good a home field advantage as there is in MLS, winning 9 matches at TKL Stadium in the regular season, and traditionally has made TKL somewhat of a fortress up there.
Mm-hmm.
How can they use that to their advantage against a Miami team that will be bringing in, obviously, you talk about it, the Cincinnati Enquirer advertising, oh, Messi's coming to town, but how can the TKO Stadium fans sort of, turn that game or turn that match in the favor of FC Cincinnati?
Well, it's the good thing is there's the opt-in system. So I know the prices right now are $244, but the opt-in system is in play. So you have people that are getting their tickets at maybe a little bit more of a premium than a regular season game, but they are able to get into their seats. So fortunately for us, we'll have a good amount of crowd there. But you're always going to see the pink. You're always going to see with Messi in the league. It just is what it is, right? But I think it's kind of a catch-22, right? Because you have the home field advantage. FC Cincinnati in previous years have definitely had more of an advantage, more of a winning percentage at home than they did this year. 9 games is nothing to shake a stick at, but I think that the pressure sometimes builds a little bit in that stadium. I think with our low scoring and our living on a knife's edge at times, can make that stadium kind of have a different energy, right? And we saw that in 2023 when Messi came to town the first time, right? It was a lot of tension because we had the 2-0 lead in the Open Cup semifinal, and then we just watched that evaporate before our very eyes. Now, obviously, a very different FC Cincinnati team and a relatively different Inter Miami team. I think we could turn that advantage. I think the fan turnout will be great, but I am still interested to see how those old wounds heal when Messi steps on that sideline.
So I guess speaking to that, because it's a couple of weeks, right? 5:00 game on the 23rd, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's time to prepare if you're Cincinnati.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Yeah. And we've had this discussion.
Thank you, MLS.
It's right there in the way. It's almost like counterproductive, but whatever. That's a different podcast. Tactically, though, what do you look for Cincy to try to do to go ahead and just end this quickly and knock Miami out of it?
Well, I think it was. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to think of who it was that I think it was Danny Higginbotham. Is that his name?
Higginbotham,
butcher everyone. Yeah. He said it very well. He recently did a podcast with our Jeff Tebbets, and you don't beat Messi. Messi's the greatest player of all time. You're just gonna have to deal with what Messi's doing. What you do is take away his channels, right? Anything that's coming in or going out from Messi, that's what you have to defend. You have to be sitting on that. You guys know the limitations of Miles Robinson. You know it very well, right? Miles Robinson may not be the best person to lock down Messi in a 90-minute match, but if you can confuse the players around him, a Suarez, if you can get underneath Busquets and really, really make him feel like it's retirement time, I think that's the way you beat. We just so many MLS teams are built with such prowess in the attacking front, and Miami's defensive lines are just bad. They've been bad all season long. I really thought Nashville would have a little bit better time, but unfortunately they were defending most of those matches. Yeah. You have to be able to attack them quick and over the top and make those players run to it and make Messi drop in deep. That's how you beat them. And we've done that winning recipe when we went down to Miami and eliminated them from playoff potential in 2023. But it's kind of foreign territory for us, right? We're not like you guys. We haven't played Messi a whole bunch, the group, right? Both teams have been kind of injured every time we end up matching up with each other. So it'll be interesting, but I feel like FC Cincinnati, with Jordi Alba playing the way he's playing and Busquets playing the way he's playing, I feel like they're not as ferocious as they were when they first came in the league. I think this is a team that you could beat over the top. You could beat with your youth, athleticism, and as long as Messi's not scoring 3 or 4, he might, then you'll have a winning chance.
Yeah, it's being interesting to see how that plays out. I think maybe a couple more for you. So who is that player that could, I guess, shut down Messi? You said maybe it might not be Miles Robinson, and I feel like the back line for Cincinnati has been a little bit battered over the season. So I guess who to you can kind of step up and help neutralize the threat that Messi is sure to provide?
Yeah, I think in our matchup earlier this year, I think Teenage Shadebe did a fantastic job. He came on as I think it was, he played the final 30 minutes of the match, but he was all over Messi all match long. He was really kind of choking away his passing lanes, playing very aggressive to him on the foot instead of being able to poach out those passes and making those runs. He was all over him right up from the get-go. Obviously, having Obina Nwobodo, one of the best sixes in MLS, now finally getting minutes and getting healthy, and this is the best time to have him back. I think whenever Messi decides to drop in a little bit more and play more in the midfield, Obina is going to be a guy that's just going to be man marking him the entire time. But around that, I'm interested to see, like, Suarez doesn't quite have the legs, but nor does Nick Hagelin. Let's be honest, right? Nick Hagelin, obviously Matt Miazga is still injured, is probably not going to make it back during this playoff run. We'll see, but we're kind of patchworked on the back line. We've played a little bit with Alvis Powell at center back here. We've our wing backs have been kind of rotated in and out based on those decisions at center back. So I feel like the answer for FC Cincinnati to kind of get to your point here is to have Teenage Shadebe playing him, shadowing him all day when he's on his right, and then having Obina Nwobodo occupy that space, which will require Pavel Abuka to drop in a little bit and really play that 8 role as more of a defensive 8 instead of playing as high up as he normally does. So that might cause problems for FC Cincinnati's attack and the availability to link up play through the midfield.
So I'm going to put Tyler and Tommy on the spot a little bit here. Y'all, I believe Tommy also predicted that Cincinnati will win MLS Cup.
I did.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Stop the count right now.
Right.
I honestly, because I kind of felt like we were going to have this game, right? Cincinnati-Miami was going to happen, and I felt like Miami would get the upper hand. But if Cincinnati does end up beating Miami and going on to the Eastern Conference Final, do you think that beating a team with kind of this star power and this level, do you think that gives y'all kind of this confidence of y'all can just go and win the whole thing at that point? Do you think that has that kind of effect potentially?
I think if we get through the East, I think we will. I think Philadelphia put it to us earlier this year. So if Philadelphia were to be that other team, and you have to remember New York City FC is the team that eliminated us last year. So there's plenty of story, maybe it's all fictitious, maybe it's all just media spin and stuff like that. But you have to think in some of those players' minds, right? Maybe not Evander, maybe not Dinke, but some of those players that were there last year, all three of those next potential opponents, Philadelphia, Miami now, and NYCFC provides us that kind of bump, right? That hunger to not see the final, right? Wait till you get to the final to see the final. But personally, I think it does. I think if you beat a team like Messi, you slay the dragon of Columbus Crew, and then you go in and have Miami, who, I mean, everyone in FC Cincinnati's got one of these.
Tinfoil hat, baby.
Anytime we have to beat MLS, Don Garber, and Messi that night. Anytime you get past Messi, I think it's going to give a team confidence, right? It gave Atlanta confidence to get to the Eastern Conference Final last year. So I think this, if we win this, it feels like that door's open. But Bradley Cardinal has kind of had Pat Noonan's number. Philadelphia has kind of been that team that's always been FC Cincinnati's measuring stick with our front office and our head coach, right? So I'm not willing to sell it right now, but it feels like if we beat Messi on Sunday, yes. I'm losing track of time. These playoffs
it's a long time in the future.
Yeah, it's a while.
yeah. Sometime next year when we play them, we should be a shoo-in.
So, I guess real quick before we cut you loose, then we got to ask, because it's still 2 weeks before the game. But what's your prediction for this one? How do you think it plays out?
So, to be honest, before the playoffs, I predicted, like when the bracket first came out, I picked Miami to win the MLS Cup. I think they have just the right chemistry up front. I really, 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 I know probably a lot of people don't, but Bright is one of those most underrated players in the league. I think they just don't have like great spots for him to be in. That's their biggest problem there. But I think that Miami, with all the momentum, with Messi, you got Alba retiring, you have Busquets retiring. I would say Inter Miami squeaks it out. That's what I'm going to predict.
Really?
I'm going to predict.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to. And
going with your
as heartbreaking as that will be.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a good team. I mean, I think there are things that we can expose, but I think there are things that can expose FC Cincinnati. And I think Miami is prone to do that. I think we have a problem with our wingbacks playing too high up the pitch. And I think that's something that Miami can capitalize with all those midfielders / forwards that can find space in those areas. They don't have to rely on Jordi Alba floating up the channel anymore. They can just fill the box with a diamond or something like that, and then just push all through the center and really, really cause us havoc. I don't expect Messi to blow it over the top. And I definitely don't think Suarez is going to go over the top. But I think it's enough whenever they'll be in position for those counterattacks. Yeah. I mean, you saw how Columbus in game 2 really killed FC Cincinnati in those counterattacks. And I think that's kind of where Messi and Suarez are in their career, right? They're not heavily defensive. They're not coming back and playing you. So I'm going to go 1-1 and lose in penalties.
Wow.
That would be a heartbreaker.
It would be heartbreaker, but
going with your head instead of your heart, I feel like.
That is the story of not only FC Cincinnati fandom, but just Cincinnati in general.
Yeah.
It's always hard.
Personally, if it goes to penalties, though, I think I trust Roman Solentano a little bit more than I trust Rocco Rios Novo.
Yeah.
In a run of play, I agree with you. But go back and look at Roman Solentano's penalty saves and come back to me on that one.
Okay.
Because I think he's guessed right twice his entire career. So, fair enough. We played New York Red Bull in 2023, first round, and Token had I think it was 3 times where we had saves, but every single one of them was not on target. Tolkien had a chance to, force the game 3 and just skies it right over there. Couldn't have happened to a better team, right?
Yeah.
Where can everybody find you and all the content?
Yeah, you could find all the folks at CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. We have a big group. We have a ton of writers, podcasters, video content creators, just a great group of people, photographers. We do 2 shows a week. Usually we do a live show on Monday nights. I'm sick right now, so cover for me, guys. And we also do a show midweek called The Jersey Swap. And I know several of you have been on there with Jeff Tebbets previewing Atlanta United. But yeah, we're just a fun group. And on socials, it's just condensed to Cincy Soccer Talk. You can find us at Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Instagram, wherever. So check us out sometime.
Love what you guys do up there, by the way. Great work.
Thank you. Likewise. You guys are one of the best in the league. I stand on that.
We appreciate it 100%. And for everybody listening here, because I think this might be the first time we've had y'all on this show. I know we've definitely had y'all, we've gone back and forth like with y'all's Jersey Swap and Atlanta Cincy games, but it's the first time on MLS Monday. But we need to make that less of a habit, make it a lot quicker next time.
Maybe next week. Or 2 weeks from now. Sorry, again.
I hope you're coming back here talking about it. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you so much. See you guys.
Take care, man.
Cheers. Take care. Thank you.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, Cincy Soccer Talks. Like he said, he said it best, but like they have such a great thing going up there.
Yeah.
Been around. They've been through obviously maybe the USL days, right? And then into the wooden spoon years, and now here they are. They got a trophy to their name and looking to add another one. So
remember Alan Cook and Jaap Stam and Ron Jans? Remember those guys? Tyler Henry.
Changed.
It was a long time since those guys were on the technical area for FC Cincinnati. But check out CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com and, like Justin said, Cincy Soccer Talk on pretty much all social media platforms to get their coverage of FC Cincinnati, of course, leading up to and during their match against Inter Miami Sunday, November 23rd, almost 2 weeks from now, guys. Exciting times.
So we have I forgot to ask him about the sword. That's okay. Next time.
Next time.
All right.
I was thinking about that too, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Dang it. I totally forgot.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, we've talked about Cincy, and we'll touch on the Miami Nashville game, but honestly, it was boring, if we're being honest. I want to touch on probably the best game of the weekend.
Oh yeah.
By far.
Which Seattle, we didn't do a watch along for, and I'm mad about that.
I know, dude. The Seattle and
need some strong coffee next time we're doing some West Coast matches.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
This one was wild, though.
Oh gosh.
From our perspective, it was so funny because, like, obviously this game is at 4:00 on Saturday, and so everybody's keeping an eye on it, right? And it starts off and it's like, oh, Seattle's done and dusted. It's 2-0 in the first 8 minutes, and then a boneheaded, literally red card in the
Joseph Rosales.
Yeah, just in the dying minutes of the first half. It's like, dude, what are you doing? This game is absolutely done and dusted. And then Minnesota goes and has apparently the best halftime talk that's ever happened in sport.
Derek Rand's a genius.
Bottle it and serve it up not next weekend against San Diego.
You bottle that. That is like Space Jam #1, Michael's, secret juice type situation.
Yeah.
Like whatever he did, man, that was on par. So
yeah,
Minnesota comes back out and dunks on Seattle with 10 men.
Down a man, yeah.
Down a man.
Which is incredible.
3 times.
Yeah.
And then Seattle, of course, pulls one back.
Of course. The Zombie Sounders show up.
So I know it was funny because watching it from our perspective, I had to go start the watch along. And so Henry jumped on and he's like keeping an eye in the background on the penalty shootout. And Obed Vargas. I wish we had pulled up the replay for our reactions when that happened, because we're like, oh, he's going to be a hero. He's going to be a hero. This is his opportunity.
That was the storyline, man. The homegrown hero who was having, top the 22 under 22 list, was one of the most promising young players in the league this season, helped Seattle win a Leagues Cup, was amazing in game 2 to help the Sounders claw back and have a chance, force a game 3. And he has a penalty kick. And I told Tyler this in the moment. For me, he makes an absolute mess of it and takes the entirely wrong decision. He does that little kind of annoying stutter step, which again, this is why I don't like the stutter step penalties. If you don't know how to do the stutter step penalty, if you're not Joseph Martinez, don't do a stutter step penalty. Okay? Right. Because you lose all of your momentum. And then what happened? Well, he hit it, first of all, very weakly, and second of all, very off target. It hits the post, and then suddenly the Sounders have missed one chance to win the game. But then again, Andrew Thomas saves another penalty, or Minnesota misses the next one, and then Oso Di Rosario misses his. Yeah. So it's like, well, come on, guys. Y'all had the chance. Y'all had the chances to put this to bed a long time ago in regulation, and then like 3 times in the penalty shootout.
And we said it too, really quick. We said it. Yeah. Like going into it, we were like, this has been a weird playoff situation for penalty kicks. Yeah. And that one definitely did not fail.
But it was so dramatic. It was such a fun watch, to be honest. That without a doubt, the best game of the first round of the playoffs.
Bar none. And one of the best in the playoffs by far, like in the last while, just as far as pure dramatics, as far as then someone's down to men, guys. They're down to 10 men. They came back to take a 3-2 lead to turn a 2-0 deficit. Sounders scored the Jordan Morris, and it's insane, like how that happens in the first place. Then he goes to penalties, but just from sheer entertainment value, like I tweeted it out, guys. Like around the time, imagine hating soccer. And soccer gets a bad rap for a lot of reasons, but come on, let's stuff like that is incredible. Stuff like that is incredible, and wow, what a match! What a match! Do we need to start talking about Minnesota, by the way, being a potential MLS or not MLS Cup, a Western Conference champion? I don't know. Maybe we need to start.
Their inability to just roll over and die,
I know,
should be applauded. Like, we talk about it all the time because you want a team, and I've said it a lot. Like, forget the talent, man.
Yeah.
It's the team that, especially in soccer, it's the team that wants it more. The team that believes in themselves. And that's such a cliche thing to say, but soccer has the finest of margins, right? You go out there and week in and week out the world over, you can sit here and watch a team that on paper should get obliterated go and do the job against a team that is one of the best in the world. Look at Atlanta, Miami last year. But beyond that, look at any, like Open Cup type situation where you have these teams that are 3, 4, 5, in some countries, 6 or 7 leagues below, and they get this matchup, and then they all of a sudden they have that magic of the cup type situation. Soccer has fine margins, and if you have a team that just feels like they can't lose, period, that they're going to go win come hell or high water, that can take you all the way. And Minnesota, in my opinion, has got that.
But for me, a huge heap of credit has to go to Eric Ramsey, because he is a genius, both tactically and in the man management aspect. I said it before in game 2, he noticed, this team is Seattle is dominating as far as coming on to you and bringing all these guys in, and their buildup is causing you all sorts of problems. He kind of turns the tables. He changes the pressing patterns and immediately exploits a weakness in that Seattle setup to come back and almost tie that game and give them a chance in that game 2. They end up losing it. But then in game 3, same thing happens. They go down 2 goals. They go down a man. Game is pretty much over. You go into halftime, and he makes the right adjustments. And not only that, but he knows how to pick up these players' heads, right? He knows how to, kind of reset that mentality. Like, forget that first half and forget that you're down a man, forget that you were in a disadvantaged situation, but just go out and play your butt off. You know what I'm saying? Like just focus that mentality in. And so just his ability to do that, and he's a young coach too. He's like 34. Like I think there are players that he's managing that are older than him.
No, Michael Boxall certainly older than him.
so it's kind of that. First of all, the players respect him, they trust him, and he knows how to manage that team. And that is one of the reasons why this Minnesota team has been so impressive throughout this season.
I know we're going to talk about San Diego, Portland in just a little bit, but obviously San Diego winning that series, they always were, I thought, but I feel like that's going to be a lot more even than people think. Obviously, San Diego are top of the West, right? Number 1 seed. The road to MLS Cup goes through Stat Dragon Stadium and all of that, but I just feel like it's going to be a lot more even than people think. On paper, San Diego should win the series, but I don't know. I think Minnesota will have something to say about that, especially given the fact, guys, that San Diego haven't been the best home team. They haven't had the best record at Snapdragon. So I don't know. I just feel like that'll be a lot closer than most people expect. Of course, you don't win matches on paper; you win them on the pitch. So that's a match that could be really intriguing. That one to wrap up the semifinal weekend, if you will, to set us up for conference finals weekend right after that.
Yeah, for sure. I know we're going to get our predictions in a little bit as far as kind of how we think it all goes. I will say, Harry saying in the chat that talking about the Obed Vargas miss, that's the kind of PK miss that can damage a career. And you hope that
he can know about that.
He's young, right? And Henry, you even said it on the broadcast, like when we were talking on the watch along that night. Like, you just got to hope he absolutely takes the Ted Lasso be a goldfish note and runs with it for sure. But I think in a way it does kind of help that I guess it depends on the person, but in a way it makes it a little easier when you can try to put it all behind you over an entire off season, as opposed to having to go back and try to do it all over again. I guess the downside of that would be you don't have that next thing to look forward to go and pull it away and draw it away and just move on. You kind of have to have it on your mind unless you can find something to take your mind off of it. So for his sake, I hope he's got that support system around him, because we talk about these kind of things. That is a massive mental aspect of this game. And you 100% hope that he can just wipe it away and move on.
Yeah. So I think he will.
The good news for him is that he got called up to the Mexican national team, the senior team. Yeah. And so he'll be with them for these friendlies in the November window. And hopefully that'll give him a chance to, first of all, change the environment, be with his national team, which is always a great thing, especially the year before World Cup. He's trying to earn his way onto that roster come next summer. This is a great chance to kind of put that behind him, but also kind of get right? If you have some good performances in these games, I think that will help him kind of feel better in that respect, and it'll be easier to put what happened in this game in the back of his mind.
And then just quickly going back to Minnesota, Inga saying in the chat, Minnesota has to be favored to advance to the Western Final. So sort of to my point I was making, and like Tyler, you said, we'll get to sort of our predictions, but I mean, I think they have half a chance, don't they? At least half a chance to get there. I mean, there's a saying in American football, college football, Jimmy's and Joe's be X's and O's. I feel like sort of the situation that we're finding with San Diego and Minnesota, again, a match that you feel like San Diego should win on paper. You have Lozano, who could be a question mark to start. You have Dreyer, newcomer of the year, was the best attacking players in the league. But then you have Minnesota, Bangi Longwane. You have Robin Lod. You have other players on that roster who can rise up to the occasion. Maybe they aren't the most experienced in playoffs, but neither is San Diego, some of those players. So I think that's going to be more even than people expect. And I know we'll get to our predictions later on, but I just kind of want to underline that point, though, underscore that point.
For sure. I mean, and let's talk about the one side of it. Let's talk about San Diego and Portland. Let's talk about last night real quick.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but to me, San Diego, as good as they are, and I love watching them play because it is, to me, and I've said, God, we've said this all season, but to a degree, man, this is very, very reminiscent of like 2017, 2018 Atlanta United. It's just how they play. And they're effective at it because they have the right guys in there. And the one guy that makes all this work is Anders Dreyer. And if he can be involved in the game, then San Diego is looking great. I mean, he had 2 goals in this one. I'll pull up his FOTMob score in a minute just because I'm curious. I haven't looked yet. But, I mean, we talked about the games where he's been shut down, and San Diego shuts down. They struggle to kind of make things happen in the same way. But when he's on, San Diego's on.
Yeah. And that score line, I mean, let's be honest, the golfing class between San Diego and Portland was always going to be large. I think Portland were very fortunate to get that the third match in the first place. They never stood a chance, I don't think, of winning that match. And questions have to be asked, though, guys, about what Phil Neville's future is with this club. They crashed out not crashed out, but they lost in spectacular fashion in the wild card round last year. And guys, that was with Evander, on the roster, right? And now this year, they at least get San Diego to a third match, but they lose in spectacular fashion in that third match, which I feel like most expected. What question do you ask about Phil Neville? Is he the coach to help guide this team? Is he the coach to get this team over the hump? I don't know if he is, really. I don't know. What do you think, Henry, about Phil Neville?
I think that's certainly a fair point to bring up. I mean, he's been there, 2-3 years now? Second full season. Yeah. And I mean, he hasn't really done a whole lot. I mean, he's gotten them into the playoffs, but I don't think that should be like an achievement. I think that should be bare minimum.
Yeah, they were in MLS Cup not long ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, under Giovanni Savarese, they made like 2 or 3 MLS Cup finals.
Yep.
And he's gotten nowhere near that. So yeah, I think certainly questions do need to be asked there, whether that is the right direction. I think right now you're seeing a lot of clubs change managers. There's this whole coaching carousel that's been going on with, obviously Atlanta was there. They've got their man. New England was there. DC was there at one point. So many clubs have changed. It might be a good time to maybe go in a different direction and see what you can find. Find something else that works, right?
Yeah.
Because I think there's got to be a better ceiling out there. I think there has to be. For the talent that Portland has on this roster. Anthony is a class player. David DaCosta is a phenomenal talent. But it's just kind of
too.
Yeah. And you just got to figure out how to put these together the right way, because I just think something's not clicking. This team should not have lost 2 times in the span of a month by a score of 4-0. Against San Diego. They did that on decision day, which ended up dropping them into the play-in game, big red flag, and they did it again last night to drop out of the playoffs. So I think it's certainly the time potentially to ask those questions, and for Portland to maybe see if they have a future with Phil Neville, or if there is another name that could potentially lead this club. I don't know, guys. Is it crazy to think that maybe they look back on the Giovanni Savarese era?
Well, he wanted to come back, though.
that is a question, but I mean, if he did want to come back, would you take him back if you're Portland?
Yeah. I mean, look, we kind of say it tongue in cheek, but I don't know. Does he want to come back is the big question. You can't do any. I feel like if you look at Neville, at least he got into the playoffs, but he never got past the first round. I feel like if you put support around Savarese, he could succeed. But yeah, I mean, you have to do something for Portland, I think, to help turn their fortunes. Granted, they ran into a really tough team against San Diego. We all expected them to get through, but like you said, Henry, they kind of dropped into that spot. They just sort of fell apart toward the end of the season.
Granted, I will say that Savarese did have players of another level.
Yeah.
He had Diego Valeri, who by all accounts is an MLS legend. He had Sebastian Blanco, who by all accounts was a phenomenal, one of the best players in the league at that time, for sure. Those are kind of some of the arguments for, okay, this may account for some of his success, but at the same time, I just think he was able to do a lot more with what he had.
Well, and that's kind of my thing with Phil Neville is nothing against the guy, but having watched him coach in MLS over the past few years, going back to where he was at before, the team that we will spend plenty of time talking about, I don't feel like he has gotten more than the sum of the parts.
No,
on any team. I just feel like he's just been there, and the team has kind of done about what you expect them to do for the most part. And it just doesn't feel like he emboldens or empowers the team to be better than maybe they should be. And so that's my thing with Phil. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You know, this was kind of a weird one too, because you go back to decision day, and this was the same matchup. These teams have played 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
Going back to the other side of the coin in San Diego and Anders Dreyer, it's funny. You go back to decision day, they played to a 4-0 win. San Diego did over the same team. Anders Dreyer had a 9.3 on FOTMob.
Oh Lord.
Then you go into the first match of this first round, and they win 2-1. He had an 8.3. Then you go into that second game where he was basically shut out of the match, right? And they drew and ended up losing 6.4. And then you jump back to last night where they won 4-0 again.
Yeah.
And he had another 9.3. So there's not, the parallels are eerie.
Yeah.
But San Diego as a whole, it's funny because when you look at Anders Dreyer, you go back before that decision day match, he had an international break. He was with Greece and played against Greece and Belarus. They won both of those games. He played against Belarus for 26 minutes, scored 2 goals, had an 8.7 on FOTMob. Houston Dynamo won 9.1 on FOTMob. They lost against San Jose 1-0. And then before that, the last 2 teams that he's actually had very, very good ratings and they still didn't beat were Atlanta, the 1-1 draw. And then, interestingly, Minnesota United, where they lost 3-1. And he had a 7.9 rating on FOTMob.
Again, that speaks to, I mean, playoffs is definitely different, but that speaks to, how even I think this will be. Now, San Diego could very well play him at the pitch. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I feel like, again, I don't know. I feel like it's not quite a coin flip, but I feel like Minnesota could give them a fight. Certainly more of a fight than, well, no, not Seattle. I think Seattle would match up with them pretty evenly. I think Minnesota matches up with them pretty evenly as well. So I'm intrigued to see how this turns out. It'll be a nice end to a full weekend of matches in the next, or in 2 weeks. We always say it's 2 weeks because it's so too long from now.
Yeah, it is. I'll throw this out there really quick. That last Minnesota-San Diego matchup, though it was 3-1, that one that San Diego snagged was absolutely a consolation goal. It was in the 90 plus 5th minute. So
thanks for coming.
Yeah. I'm intrigued 100% by that matchup. That's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun for sure. I think a lot of brackets will be ruined.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, the Seattle Minnesota match is the one that's ruined my entire bracket. I'm dead on so far, but they shafted me in that one. But I'm actually happy it went down that way because that was a game. Like that was a one that's going to go back
all timer,
100%. Like
I can't even be mad about it. That was worth every second of watching that.
Yeah,
as a soccer fan, that's the type of game you want.
Absolutely,
love it.
Absolutely.
Here's the deal. we got to do our predictions. Do y'all even want? I mean, we've kind of beat around the bush a little bit on it. Do you want to talk about this game 3 with Nashville and Miami? I mean, it was. I mean,
Miami was better.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Tyler. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh. What do you got, Henry? What are you doing? Where'd he go?
Did I do it right?
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah,
that was great. Stop in Nashville.
Little dive to the ground. Little dive to the ground.
Is that stop in Nashville goal? I'm sorry. I'm trying to see if I'm doing this right.
That was a great recreation.
It's poor. It's a poor
ESPN material.
Yeah, well done. So
that's the story of the game.
I don't believe it. I mean, it's whatever.
Guys, you saw the replay,
I'm over
right?
it. Yeah,
we've seen it so many times. BJ Callahan live on the field saw the replay, and his reaction was gold too.
Yeah,
I'll see that because he was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, I did not.
That was amazing. But like, he doesn't touch him. There's no contact. No. How do you? First of all, how do you call that a foul? Okay, fine. You know what? Maybe you behind the play. Maybe you didn't see that right. But where's the VAR?
You have Tim Ford though. Where does he see it?
Isn't that what VAR is there for? For clear and obvious errors?
Yeah,
that looks pretty freaking clear and obvious to me.
It's clear and obvious to us watching this from thousands of miles away, right? Or hundreds of miles away.
What are we doing, guys?
Tim Ford just bottled that. And listen, the AR, I feel like should have noticed that in the pitch, but that's what you have the VAR for. Tim Ford, just fast asleep, maybe watching another match. I don't know. It's just poor, very poor officiating. It won't do much to dispel the notion that Miami gets calls because of Messi, but at the end of the day, look, Miami were the better team, but it was just a poor call and a poor decision by Tim Ford not to direct Rosendo Mendoza to take another look at it.
Here's my thing.
What are we doing?
Yeah, it honestly, it's pathetic in my opinion, and we can have the conversation about look, I'm not mad at a referee for missing a call. I am mad at the entire organization for not going back and using the technology that you have paid for to go look. It's so frustrating, but where I will give criticism, and let me know if this works. I'm just gonna throw this up. Thanks to our good friends at Major League Soccer for the. Well, before I say anything. Nope. Is it there? Do you see this?
I do see this.
I mean, you see it.
Look, forget the contact or alleged contact. Look at where he's at on the pitch to try and make this call. Okay.
Where is he? I don't see him.
Exactly. But look at the bottom left corner.
Here we go.
Do you see him? Oh, wait, there he is.
Oh, he's miles away.
You can't even. You have a Miami player in the way. All right. So look at the alleged contact. Boom. He's not even looking. He's not looking.
He's looking at the. Wait, how did he call that?
Unless, I don't know.
Unless, of course, it was the AR that signaled for the foul.
It's a wrong call.
unless the AR signaled for the foul and then he gives it. But man, that's even for the AR. That's a very hard call to make.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
especially for the AR, I would argue, because you're all the way on the side. You have not one, but like 3 players in the way.
Yeah, I guess my thing is with it is simply this, right? And I've been on the soapbox before with Atlanta games and others, but the tool's there, right? Just to make yourself look more, even if you're 100% sure, to make yourself look a little more competent and also give maybe the fans of this league something less to complain about. How about you just go walk over to the monitor and take a look? Even if
that's not his call though. That's Tim Ford's call. That's Tim Ford's call, not Rosendo Mendoza's call. Tim Ford has to tell him to take a look at that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, just go do it though, because good and well, it's not like he's immune to what's going on in the stadium at this point. Like at that point, oh man, this might be a little spicy. Maybe I should just go look. Maybe I should tell them to, whatever. It just use the technology, man. That's it. Yeah. It's that simple.
Ultimately, I don't think it would make a difference. I think Miami still won, but still, I mean, it's It's a poor
Maybe
call.
in terms of momentum. I mean, at that point, the game was only 2-0. You draw one
True.
back. It's a one-goal game going into halftime. I mean, you come out. I'm sorry. Was this at halftime or was it just after halftime? I don't know. But there was plenty of time.
Just after the half.
Like
Just after the half. There was plenty of time for Nashville to mount a comeback. But, you know, a decision like that is so obvious, goes against you. I think the heads drop. It has that reverse effect. So again, it's hard to kind of imagine that, you know, the what ifs of all of this, but you can't really say that it wouldn't have impacted. For me, it did.
It certainly would have, but ultimately, I think, I don't know. I just feel Miami still would have won. I'm not saying wouldn't have impacted the match, but I still think Miami would have put ahead. But ultimately, I think we can all agree Tim Ford has to be better in that situation, man. I mean, I know he's not at the stadium, but he has the ability to see what's going on and roll back the tape. And he has to, at that moment, say to Rosendo Mendoza on the pitch, hey, this might have been a missed call. Go back and look at it. Because otherwise, what is VAR for if you're not going to use it to Tyler's point? So, yes, it was a boring match, but that certainly was a flashpoint that I feel like we can't really move on without.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's the story, right? Like, I mean, cool. Like, look, Messi got he did his thing, and you expect that, right? He had the first goal off a stupid throw in and a turnover that wasn't great, and then he goes and makes a run that he's done a million times in his career, and he scores off.
Yeah.
I got to give credit to was it Allende or who was it that scored the chip?
Yeah.
I mean, that was just class.
Audacious chip.
It was perfect, man.
It really was. It really
just
was.
The right height to get over, just the right dip to just nestle under the crossbar.
Yeah.
Class finish.
So take nothing away from Miami for sure. You know, how it would have went either way, not taking that away from them. I do think there would have been at least a little bit of fire under Nashville had that not happened the way it did, but it is what it is. You had some class goals from Miami. They go forward. It's a 4-0 win. I mean, not much else you can ask for. And then they take on Cincy coming up, as we have alluded to multiple times. So with that, predictions.
Do we just want to I feel like we're going to go in more detail, just before the matches next weekend, right? So I don't know if we want to just give out our initial thoughts, initial predictions.
I think just give your who wins, and we can dive into the detailed stuff upcoming.
Yeah. So I mean, Cincinnati into Miami. Let's start with that, I guess. Man, I gotta go with Miami, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta go with Miami.
I'm with you. Miami.
Tyler.
I can't believe y'all two plus Justin. I got to go with Cincy. It's on my bracket. I can't.
Same with Cincy.
I figured.
Same with Cincy.
I don't know, but I think Cincy's going to have something to say about it, man. And it is home field advantage.
I agree.
And TQL, to your point earlier, they have legitimately turned that place into a really, really awful place to play.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It is, because Miami is Miami.
Yeah.
But I got to go with Cincy.
Okay.
All right. And then I've lost the order. No, I haven't. I've got it right here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go
Philly, New York City next.
Yeah, Philly,
already out of order.
Sunday at 7. So this will be the same one that day, but 2.5 hours after. Thankfully, they've set it up so that in case that one does go to a penalty shootout.
Well, extra time though, right? There's extra time and knockout stages.
I still think they would.
So
I guess it would
take
be
into account. Yeah.
But yeah, Philly, New York. What you got?
I'm going with Philly. I mean, stick with my bracket. I'm going to do the same thing you did, Tyler, with Cincinnati. I'm going to say Philadelphia is going to win that series. Henry, you kind of give us a look. So,
I mean, look,
Andres Reyes is going to miss the match, by the way. After surgery.
What was that?
Andres Reyes is going to miss the match, by the way. And
Andres Reyes or Andres Perea?
Yeah. Perea. Thank you.
Perea. Yeah. Andres Reyes isn't playing in MLS anymore.
Thank you. Andres, somebody.
Look, I don't remember what I put in my bracket. I think I put Philadelphia winning this, but it's hard to say no to New York City FC, especially given Philadelphia's record against playoff teams and, NYCFC, their potential to hit really quickly on a lot of these transitions. I wonder how they approach this game. I think this is just going to be whoever approaches it kind of better, whoever's better at executing in the right moments. But I'm gonna go with NYCFC on this one.
Okay, Tyler.
Oh, I see. We have a pitch invader in the chat. Let's talk. I can't even argue because he's an Arsenal fan. So I mean, I guess I could be like, trophies. And that's talking crap about my own team. Anyway, carry on. I got to go with my bracket as well, Philly. I think all the points are valid, but it's really hard to. I've gone against Philly this entire season, going back to day one. I was like, they're going to be wooden spoon winners. Their off season was terrible, and here we are.
Wrong.
Totally opposite.
With the irony.
So it's really hard to sit here and say anything against them. I think they take it for sure.
Tyler was holding his predicted standings upside down, so that's why he said wooden spoon.
Wooden spoon.
No, next one is going to the west now. This one's going to be really interesting. It's going to be Vancouver LAFC. Mueller, of course, the big draw for Vancouver. Son and Buwanga, of course, LAFC. That's going to be at BC Place, and tickets at last check are selling at a spectacular rate out there at BC Place. So that's going to be a hot ticket up there in the northwest, not the northwest, but in Canada, British Columbia is what I'm trying to say. We won't get a Cascadia conference final because, of course, Seattle are out and Portland are out. But I'm going to go with LAFC. I think the firepower that LAFC have between Sloan and Buwanga, just the form that they're in, are going to be too much for Vancouver. So I'm going to say LAFC to the Western Conference final, Henry.
Yeah, I'm going with LAFC too. I have them winning the whole thing. So I just think, I just don't think there's any stopping Son and Buwanga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's really hard to bet against them, period.
Yeah.
I think it is frustrating, I think, for Vancouver, because if this is how you go out, of course it would be that it was LA and the way that they're playing right now, because you've had such a good season. But it's really, really hard to bet against this LA team at this point. It's wild how good they've become. Tickets are reasonable if you're sitting on the edge of the stadium, on the edge of the bowl, looking out over the parking lot. Starting at $60, but you get into like reasonable seats.
Yeah,
looking at almost 200.
Wow,
curious.
That's the get-in price for Cincinnati Inter Miami, isn't it?
For real.
The supporters section, like Justin was saying earlier.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a fun match though. Nonetheless, I think
that one's must watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That one's Saturday, the 22nd. So 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah,
which leaves one more.
San Diego, Minnesota. That's on a Monday night. Right in the middle of Monday Night Football. So
it's a wild day to schedule an MLS playoff
I respect
game.
the effort. I respect the effort by MLS to go up against the behemoth that is Monday Night Football. Now, last check, I don't think they released the time for that. I just know it's going to be
not yet.
Monday night. Yeah, they released the time for the other three matches, I believe.
They did, yeah.
No, they did. It's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, they must have just put that out.
Yeah, that came out actually Sunday night. But I saw somewhere else it's showing TBA. But yeah, it's at 10 p.m. Monday night, San Diego, Minnesota. Listen, guys, I'm going to go with Minnesota. I'm not putting myself out there. I don't care that San Diego's the top seed of the Western Conference. I think Minnesota United are going to advance to the Western Conference final against LAFC. Henry, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with San Diego. I think this is going to be a close game. Like we just said, this could go either way, really. Both of these teams have quality, but for me, I just think San Diego, they've had a historic expansion season. They're highly motivated. They play some really, really good soccer. I think their star power is just going to be a little bit too much for Minnesota United.
Tyler,
I agree. I think it's going to be San Diego. I've got to still keep my bracket alive as well. Minnesota screwed it up, but either way, I had San Diego taking whoever in that next game, and I think San Diego takes it. I for all the points you made, Henry. I think this is a game where they come in, as you were saying, maybe even more motivated than they've been all season. But it's just, I think if they can come in and play their game against this Minnesota team, which is, bend as much as you need to, but go and strike really heavy on the counter, you get Anders Dreyer into it. I think it's just going to be too much for Minnesota.
Guys, we haven't even talked about the potential calendars change for this episode, but we may have to leave that because we've been going like an hour and 20 minutes.
Maybe we'll have some more info on it next week.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. We'll pass that along when we know more. But it was a fun round one. I know we have the quibbles about the time between round one and the conference semifinal. So hopefully they fix that and MLS fixes that in the next CBA, whatever. But guys, I'm excited, and we just have to wait 2 weeks for it to happen. I'm going to continue to die on that hill.
It's frustrating.
It is.
Y'all go join the Patreon if you haven't already. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Get all your Atlanta United news and extra content and everything there. Get you on our Discord, scarvesandspikes.com for all of your Atlanta and
NWSL.
NWSL Atlanta content on the way. So like we said earlier in the show, we're going to have some more stuff about that this week as well. Be talking about all of it for sure on Wednesday for the actual Atlanta show. Yeah. And besides that, if you haven't done this already, please go subscribe to the channel here. Smash the like button. It helps us a lot. Truly, truly. And because it's like literally below freezing in Atlanta now, go to the website, go to the shop, get you guys a hoodie like I'm wearing because it was freaking cold outside.
It is cold.
Get your beer glass, coffee mug, something.
No one wants beer in the cold. It's 30 degrees, Tyler.
I mean, look.
Well, you're drinking one, but
cold beer is real beer.
Yeah.
But I would take like a really warm coffee right now, too. We appreciate it, though. This is a fun episode. Yeah. Appreciate it. And we said Justin as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also say all the time, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart, we thank you so much. We're seeing a lot of traction over there as well. So if you're listening there, leave a like or subscribe. Leave a review. Let us know how we're doing. 5 stars preferred, but if not, just rate us 4 stars, 3 stars, and give us your honest feedback. Or 5, yeah. But give us your feedback. We love to hear it. As Tyler said, like and subscribe on YouTube, and definitely support us. It helps support us. We try to give you the best coverage available. I'm at SA Trice on X, SA Trice on Blue Sky, Soccer, everywhere else.
I'm at HA Higita, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram.
And I am HCL Pilgrim, pretty much everywhere.
Scarves, the letter N, Spikes on X, scarvesandspikes.com on Blue Sky, Scarves and Spikes everywhere else. Thanks, everyone.
We'll see y'all.
Stay warm.
Ooh, mulled wine. Yes, Harry. That's good stuff. See y'all on Wednesday.
Stay warm.
See y'all.
Am I going to be the victim of the music this time, or can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So mulled wine.
Unscathed.
Right. Yeah, mulled wine or like a good meat, like mead. This time of year, you put the spice in it, you heat it up. That stuff hits. You're talking about warming you from the inside out, the best way possible.
That sounds really good.
Oh, it's so tasty. Mead is, it's essentially wine made with honey instead of grapes.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Really?
Yeah, and it is. This time of year, it hits.
I've never tried it. Now I'm curious about it.
It's good. It is good. There actually is a meadery here in Atlanta that does mead flights. To call them and see what they've got going on lately. Me and my wife went there a couple months ago, and it is so good.
Might be worth checking out, man.
Yes,
Nice.
indeed.
All right.